You guys remember the previous Ascent by Gambit? I puked when I saw that there's no Jett on Ascent, and they lost. Like, I made a comment on Twitter before the game started that without Jett on Ascent, your attack just is fully like focused by playing mid and short. Essentially, the only ways of you utilizing your attack is like those two sides, like those two paths, here and here. You cannot just literally put pressure without the Jett dash from the mains, right? So you have to pay attention to mid control, going market or going short. And that was exactly what was happening. And they got countered. They got fully countered by Crew. Because Crew knows exactly what's going to happen when there's no Jett. It just leaves so much uncertainty just free. You don't have to worry about no one dashing on side. You don't have to worry about being like pushed and pressured by the Jett, which makes you completely free when it comes to approaching defense. And I was easily countered. This is why we see Gambit now play with the actual Jett on Ascent, because it changes that just so much by having Jett in your team. You can still do the same shit here. You can still do map control by going mid, market, and short, but you have the uncertainty for the opponents, which wasn't the case when they were playing without the Jett on the previous Ascent. Well, and yeah, that's about it. Now, when it comes to the other choices, it's a very standard metagame choice. When it comes to Gambit, I really like it. Every single base is covered. They have also double initiation, so this is pretty nice. They have the flashes. And when it comes to the approach from Ascent, I also really like it because the only difference here is the Cypher versus Killjoy difference. And I prefer Killjoy because of the combos with Astra. You can do the same combo if you guys remember. If you guys remember me talking about Heaven, how do you combo a lot of stuff on the retake on A, you can do the same shit on retake on Ascent when you do the lockdown in the corner, and then you do the lock combo, so Nova Pulse into Gravity Well, and players are fucked, right? The simplest combo that you can ever do. It's accessible also on A side, and I wonder, I don't think we're gonna see it, unfortunately. I don't know why pro players are not doing this. This is the simplest and the most effective combo that you can do, but we'll see. And that's the main reason why you want to play Killjoy when it comes to retakes with Astra, but also, like, you know, the early control of Astra and the nanoswarms to just make sure that no one is pulling you. No one is pushing you at the beginning is very important. Zeke has even more value with KO on this map than on Breeze. So it's specifically important to utilize the dagger on B side on like undestructible points. We'll see how's gonna be that played out. Website, that's Valorant. And the first round goes to Ascend on attack. They just fully push through mid. They go for a fake smoke on short by the Astra, and then reposition of the util. Nice. That is very nice. Okay, but how is this being utilized fully? So bunkled with the drone, just wait, what? That is so weird.
These two, it's so quick in towards that.
Nats is being turned off right now,
and already we're gonna see that pressure
because of the dagger. Redka, sorry, Bonkle just gets market control, but he didn't use any util. He still has the drone. Why is there a market and not someone else? That is so weird. Why was not Killjoy here? This is some really awkward decision making. Killis would have the chance of controlling mid with his utility still active.
For now, but he's still got a gun in his hand, and that might be just enough for him. Yeah, good luck targeting this man. He'll do it all with that.
Yeah, I don't like this at all. I think that was the decision to go short was made very abruptly, and because of that, it wasn't optimized. They have the two options. They either go market or they go short, but they went short and left Sova on mid. I have absolutely like no clue what exactly is the decision making here, and I will never guess. So this would be one of those rounds when you just need to have input with the actual with the actual team.
Map 1, and could you believe it?
Because they don't hear the push from B.
Hey, they had the lead and they dropped it.
Like, they have no clue about the triple players going B.
Between these two, it's so quick in towards that A site.
I don't know.
Already we're going to see that pressure towards Nats. He's going to be kind of dealt with towards Tree for now, but he's still...
And it's just 3 players doing an actual execute. We have 2 lurkers here on Ascend. I don't like this. I really don't like this because that one player that now is left on mid, like, this is the problem. Like, they're missing that one player to cover their tracks on short. That's literally that one player missing.
Still got a gun in his hand, and that target...
And pumps very off, particularly in the actually and hold on the side of Gambit.
And I don't think we've ever put the words complacent next to the name Gambit, have we?
No.
A little bit of a switch up in positioning as well, I'd say, with that Astra. Playing towards the A site, even on Tree.
Nobody closed the door. It didn't even matter. That doors would have been closed fast enough for it to matter, you know?
And hello, Bone Cold, finding Defo, and now we've got a player advantage towards Ascend. How do they work from this point onwards, though? Can they draw these rotations? Can they find the right place to be? It looks like B might be what they desire, but on the other side, we know who's there. Chronicle waiting. Spectre locked and loaded. Has a quick glance. Sees nothing for now. Does he get any information off this?
You're getting good timing on that, though, to use the Aldo, and he's now got his recon bolt again, so potential here if he's given an audio
so alone,
cue.
though. Shados is all the way in spawn. Now the contact's made. He has to buy a little bit of time. Just the last piece of utility put to work just before he backed away. Confirmation of 2. And there's that lean through from CT. Nats is en route as well. Chronicle, oh, good for the double. The triple.
Never cross against the Sheriff, but he already got 2.
What the
fuck? That's just...
And is there any more?
That's just random.
Shados, a 1v2.
That's just random.
Not quite through from
What?
CT. Nats is en route as well. Chronicle, oh, good for the double.
Bonkel gets a kill here. Then he just...
The triple, not quite.
And he just turns and kills Nats.
As Bone Cold carries on forward.
Holy
That's
shit.
the Bone Cold that we know with the triple at a time.
He's now got his recon bolt again, so potential here.
How did... Wait.
Side
Okay, let me
Oh,
rewatch
and
this.
Still saw how well prepared
Redgar gets 1 kill and gets traded by Zeke. This is positive for Ascend.
was. Now a bit of a trade out.
And Defo just gets 1 tap by
Though
Bonkel
we still
here.
saw how well prepared Nats was. Now a bit of a trade out.
Yeah. I mean, this is overcommitment by Defo. There's no need for that shit.
And hello, Bone Cold.
I really dislike so many teams just playing those stupid positions against ecos, man. That's the teams that are on the lower buy. They want you to peek into them. They hold the angles with sheriffs. They want you to peek into them because that guarantees that they can get 1-taps kill shots. Because if you play for them, you can play over 30 meters and you can get 145 instead.
For Ascend, and right there, 4 kills.
Ugh, man.
Opening as well, you see straight away.
Do you recommend studying lower tier teams to improve your own team's play because top teams in tournaments mostly use anti-strats and there's not much as to learn? No, you should not study lower tier teams because they don't play well. The top tier teams have not the best strategies yet, so you can't expect anything from the lower tier teams. And the top tier teams, I can guarantee you that in 90% of the cases they're not anti-stratting.
Drift back towards B.
That's like, I really, how do I explain that? People would like to think that the teams are anti-stratting a lot, but this is not the level of the teams yet to actually anti-strat so hard. And it's like a wishful thinking for like the public reception to think like, oh, they're outplaying so hard because they just prepared against them so badly. The thing is, most of those games are being lost because the team has not enough patience or has bad attack sides, and it's not anti-stratting. But that's the reality that people don't want to hear. People don't want to hear that the teams are not playing on the highest level yet. People don't want to hear that the game, like the top tier teams, the best teams in the world yet, are not playing on the expected level, because the current level is just allows you to make many mistakes yet, you know?
And at that point, you think Chronicle, yeah, the recon bolt, the
Jesus
Aldron
Christ.
uses the timing's perfect for it. He actually still had 2 shock darts. I'm pretty
Hello,
sure
Kimbappe.
that goes for the gunfight instead, not able to buy enough time. And unfortunately, in terms of rotations, they get picked apart.
This is a huge turn of events, so just from momentum alone, Ascend desperately needed that.
Well, that's a lot of info.
What is that?
4 players are being tagged. They just stood next to the dagger that was used in the previous rounds as well.
Look at the info.
Well,
what the
They just
fuck?
scurry and get out of there like little rats escaping the ship. All noted, all seen. And I like a stack. Look, absolutely back that every day of the week. You're on Sheriff's Classics. You're trying to make something happen out of nothing. Why not give it a go? But for now, this will be hopefully clean enough for Ascend, and there's the dash.
That was on purpose?
Actually,
What was on
just fully
purpose?
right, fully blind. Bonecold needs to be careful here. They can crest this corner if they're feeling themselves. The rifle is in, but they just play as numbers.
I don't think that was on purpose. That was just Ascent. Look, if this is on purpose, right?
Just from momentum alone, Ascend desperately needs
If this is on purpose,
that.
then people on B side from Ascent should be like fucking pushing right now. There's only 1 player on B. That just makes no sense. Why are the players on B right now not pushing B? 2 players against 1 when they have a low buy and you have Spectres.
Well, they just scurry.
I don't get it. I really don't get it. You know what the 4 players.
Escaping the ship.
Like, if this is an actual like play by Gambit, then Ascent got outplayed. But there's no way this should work against any team that makes a split-second decision making.
All noted,
Like,
all
what the fuck?
seen. And I
This
like
should have been
that.
already taken. This B side should have been already fucking
Look,
taken.
oh,
This should not be the
absolutely
case
back
of
that every day of the
them
week.
going
You're on
right
Sheriff's
here.
Classics.
Like,
Trying to make something happen out of nothing. Why not give it a go? But for now, this will be hopefully clean enough for Ascend, and there's the dash, and actually, Killis is fully white, fully blind.
well played by
Just
Gambit
be careful
anyway.
here. They can crest this corner if they're feeling themselves. The rifle is in, but they just play as numbers, play as the pack. A 3v3, there's no way this gets more dangerous. Okay, Spike's going A. Okay, it's okay.
Somehow, it's
okay.
a 2v2 though.
It's okay.
I mean, sure,
It's fine.
it can be detected on purpose, but Ascent didn't like cascade on it fast enough. Gambit really does play to their plan if this was on purpose, but I don't like the approach
Oh, guys, oh.
by doing that. Like, this shouldn't have worked. They shouldn't have gotten 3 kills on B side. It just makes no sense. It's Ascent inability to capitalize on the info they gotten. Like,
Confirm
that's
what they
just
already know.
this
Two
is just
rifles
really
retrieved for Nats and
weird.
Redgar. And actually, Zeke looking to get a little bit aggressive at the time, and the flash is going to be good for Redgar at least, but can't close
It's
it
not.
out.
It's whiffy. It's really not that good. Zeke needs to fall away. He's bought a little bit of time, but it ain't much. Still with another flash, though, he should be able to do some work and play CNED in potentially. But they
A
do
little bit
have
split.
rifles. And here's that flash underhand.
nice flash, but no follow-up. But it buys a little bit of time.
Sends
But
it in.
yeah.
Timing is everything. CNED set for success. Gets one on the crosser now. Down to Redgar, and it's CNED to keep things.
It's a
just
valley in the
about
foot,
check,
but this should have been this.
I mean, they
This
found
should have
3
been
players there,
just
took away those
disassembled
rifles,
like
forced out
this.
the reinvestment. This is a damn close game.
And the important thing there, the stat.
Look, you have 2 players controlling B side, right? 4 players are standing in this spot. This is 4 players. If you're in the attacking team, you shout, "Go go 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 B, go B go B go B!" Like, literally, you just hard push this as 2 players. If you get 1 in the first seconds, right? You have a very high chance. This is low buy. Remember, guys, this is low buy. You just run in. You never stop. There's a high chance that you just get 0 for 1, and you get B side very fast. And those people are just running back. Like, the reaction from Ascent was not
detected
fast
so
enough.
early, but still, they don't commit the spike, right?
Yep.
They know just on the off chance that Chronicle goes huge again and stops that B site hit. Again, Zeke.
But guys, remember, I'm nitpicky, right? I'm expecting perfect level of play. This is why I'm always saying stuff like this. I'm expecting perfect level of play, something that will never happen. I'm just living in my own ideal world, right? But by knowing what is the perfect play, it improves the overall knowledge. But you never know, they could have forced. No, they won't force, my friend.
A little bit whiffy, but the information's there early enough.
Yep.
Cena can kind of just tuck in and wait for that peek out with Zeke being...
Like, look at the amount of cash they had in previous round. Look at the cash. What do they force with? There's not enough cash to force. There's really not. It will have no utility for the next upcoming rounds. All right. B is completely clear. So 014 setup right here.
There, but they come in at the last second.
Tiger, like this is known position now from Shadows.
Ascend.
The drone gets destroyed. So Defo is not being cleared at all. They don't know if there's an operator here.
Showing presence.
Oh. Whose smoke is that? That is Starks' smoke, right? Yeah. Oh, that's nuts.
At the last second.
That is nuts. This is a fake smoke being popped, which Bonkold just fully oh my god, dude, that's so nice. I actually have seen it. Gets that clear because yeah, that makes sense. Not Bonkold. Cena just gets the clear. I was confused by the camera. And now is like he can just dash away. That is so nice. That is very smart. Very nice microplay by Ascent here.
Towards A, Defo just brazen in the swing there, and Cena will punish it.
That's a big amount.
Very brave by Defo even to try to pick, like, what do you want to achieve with an operator in that angle, right?
Information
Very tough.
Shados gets a freebie and a nasty one.
He just gets 2 random kills. Well, that can happen.
Anything, and he's still finding them.
He just bails out Gambit in this round by getting those 2 kills. That is like just play. that is just so good.
3v3 presented, and they've got no ground. They have to peel away with the spike for now.
So again, Bonkold invest the Hunter's Fury there, but no information gathered on the back of it. Chronicle will be spotted there. Look for Bonkold now to potentially re-aggress towards shore, but the Cosmic Divide will go up just to lock them out of A site for the time being. Ascend will wait this out.
You don't walk this, do you, Bonecall?
Surely not.
You wouldn't do that. Maybe in timing with this, though.
Yes,
Yes,
he
you
does.
do. When Cena plays in, he moves through the divide. Great
Nice
timing,
arrow.
pushing the ball,
Nice
taking eyes
arrow.
away from
He
the
expected
prize.
it. Look,
He's in, he
he
moves
expected
through.
the. Everyone
You wouldn't do that.
puts that
Maybe in
arrow
timing
on the
with this, though.
wall.
Yes, you do. When Cena
Everyone puts the arrow here, right? Because it also clears sight. But Bonkold actually puts it with a bounce, which puts Chronicle in a very awkward spot.
plays in, he moves through the
And now he's spotted because of that.
divide. Great timing, the push and the
So it pushes him back. Like, very smart arrow. Kind of like, let's say, risky because you don't clear sight,
away from the prize.
right? But
Spike now has to
allows
get
you like to
Waterstock.
just put him away from that. So nice awareness.
Stop it. Chip damage enough. Killers is going to respect that and fall away.
Oh, not a fan of this position from Bonkold. He's exposed. And they don't clear this. Oh my god, Killers just bails them out. Holy shit.
Early on, though, Keyless wise to it. Nat's now the last man standing, a 1v2.
That is very awkward. I never know how to fucking stand in a situation like this. You just have always awkward angles. Every angle you have is awkward unless you play both in hell, but then you're still like awkward angles if your opponents have utility. So woohoo!
There's the contact made. They now know the position he's working from. They try and stay as a pack, but it's still Nats. One side gonna be one, the other. On
Very
the
well
other.
played by them. This is like, see, they have an awkward angles. They don't have to wait. They just push him to avoid the awkward angles.
And this is just lovely work, and you see Ascend had to really
Very
keep
smart
check
play
on
by
that.
Ascend.
You drop that
Very
ball
smart
for a
play.
second, you allow him that 1v1. He might have exploited it, but Ascend, a lot of things presented there, and they actually succeeded against it.
Absolutely. The awkward thing becomes if Ascend now try and revert back to a slow...
You should never crouch against, I mean, never. You should avoid crouching against sheriffs, guardians, marshals, and operators.
Because Gambit are showing willingness to greet Ascend.
But Killy's
Whichever
just
side they
bails them out. because of that awkward angle. If Killy's dies there, almost unwinnable.
They've shown a little bit of presence early round on A, and this time around they do follow up. It's looking like another stack towards A here. Again, a Spectre, 2 Spectres, sorry, invested here for Gambit. Ascend, just going to try and roll on through.
Yeah, investing the other divide as well.
It's not a low buy, but by Gambit, and I like the fact that Zika's not using his ultimate this round. They just go in. So there are 2 options while playing this Cosmic Divide. You either divide this, or you divide this. It's just a different approach to what you want to do. If you divide like they did, then you need to push through stairs as well. If you divide like I pointed out here, then you just try to push from lane, but leaves you open to like a lot of space in here. So it just depends on how you want to approach this round.
Yeah, but that'll be just fine. That's not really the biggest bother. I think they've seen a fair amount.
Yes. Figured out exactly where half of a
There's a crackdown from Gambit.
Let's see if you can keep it looking lush as ever. Starzo and Acend in perfect unison. Even just Redgar, and I think he's already been.
What the fuck? Was he not fully flashed? What happened here?
Lining him up and then knocking him down. Ascend gonna keep things chugging forward. But look, after the first map, I can't think it's ever over.
How much do you read into this now? Looking at the start of 5 rounds.
It's always version of the second. Obviously, it's just.
Okay. All right, let's pay attention to the pacing on this round. This is a full B rush with the ultimate, right? This is why we see. Look, oh, see, that's what I was mentioning before. Look, you guys remember what I was always saying about Cypher's playing offside when there's a KO ultimate? Look, Nats is playing A, even though he has traps on B. That's what I was always saying, that people need to do that. I'm so happy to see this in an actual game. I'm talking about this since release of KO. And this is the first time I actually see it in a professional top tier match. At least when I do a VOD review.
Humble, obviously a little bit now building in the bank for Ascend.
Both players actually playing spawn. Very nice.
But I want to see what Gambit do now with a decent purchase. Big information off the back of the flash, and
very
nice.
Now
try and power on forward. Takes everything he can with him, but now on the other side, Def.
Yeah, and he gets fucked. And Zeke gets fucked because of that. See? That is so smart.
Good shot from Defo.
That is so smart.
The only one here. And actually Killer's what? He unleashes himself. 2 huge frags, keeping Gambit at bay. And is now down to Chronicle. Locked out, blinded, has no chance for now. Has to rescind for a second.
Get tagged out as well. He's gonna look to follow up on that information.
Still, like, it's kind of hard to stop a 5-man push with a KO ultimate. So, good luck.
Slow him down a little bit as well. Chronicle, not an awful lot he can do in this scenario. Looks like he will peel away, try and hold on to this rifle. Again, it's so difficult for a center.
Well, they kind of line up here. I don't like this. Specifically also because Bonkold has 10 HP.
Maintain this pace, this level of aggression, right? Because just one round, Gambit can switch it up, we know.
Okay, they're saving.
Not necessarily in this next. Need to stop something.
It wasn't 0.3.
Okay. Killy's has ultimate. Another low buy for Gambit. So I have no expectation when it comes to this round. I don't think Killers will use this ultimate this round. We'll see.
Credits now sitting behind this buy for Ascent.
Bottom mid arrow to reveal in front of the smoke to get a little bit of control towards short.
Gambit, it's odds and ends.
This is key here.
And turret started randomly shooting at Sova jumping in spawn.
Gambit, it's odds and ends.
And actually, this is key.
Yeah. The Sova jumping up in spawn right now is being spotted by the turret. Very nice. Actually, very cool. Like, look at the position of the turret.
Credits now sitting behind.
So if you put it on the right corner of the wall, I didn't realize that before. If you could put it on the right corner of the wall here, then it spots a player that is jumping up in spawn. Pretty cool.
For Ascent, for Gambit, it's odds and ends.
And actually, this is key here in the anti-eco.
You should run.
Ascend will show a little presence towards mid.
Interesting. Do you guys think that Achilles does this ultimate just to bail the ultimate from Sova? Because when it comes to value, it's actually better to do this on a eco than against a full buy, because then at least Defo cannot try to get kills with it as well while destroying the ult. That is interesting approach.
Fury will actually deal with the
Like, you kind of bail it out as early as possible, and Achilles has the cheaper ultimate, so effectively puts him in a better spot to also gather the ultimate faster than the other player. Interesting approach. I really like this, kinda. Not kinda, I actually like this. This is actually pretty smart.
lockdown here. And Defo will find one with the shorty. Quickly traded out though. And find it open.
A crackdown on A, but very fast. So Starks knows about this.
Starzo close enough to hear the sound cue. We'll find the first red card will fall. We'll find
Nice.
the second as well.
Good awareness.
The last man standing.
Okay, not much damage done. We talk about maybe chipping away at it, forcing them some repurchases.
The Ascend versus Gambit is your last VOD review, or will we be doing more in the upcoming days? For now, I don't plan to do more. I'm gonna be playing tomorrow because I kinda crave playing the game. But maybe at some off day, I'll do the VOD review or like a finish or something when I'm done with the game because I'm tilted or something.
Then opens up the entirety of the map pool, get a full best of.
Alright, full buy from Gambit, ultimate, sorry, operator, or on Defo playing short. Sorry for yawning. Now you guys will yawn.
Hopefully.
Nice.
Because the next one's a bit of a curveball as well.
Okay, so Defo gets affected. They know about Defo playing operator just because of the economy.
It's a bit weird.
So they know where Defo is playing. So they just slowly gain control of B with the drone.
We'll talk about that when he gets to it as well.
And they didn't gain much from it, to be honest. They have no smokes pre-set up.
Into this one, Seekers do come through.
Okay.
Get a bit of a wiggle on most of the play.
Counter ult by Shadows. Now they're pushing A because of the Seekers. Look.
So the
Wait. Did the Starks already... Yeah, Starks already destroyed one Seeker. So now they're close to him. They know where he is. He's either now top mid or spawn. And they're just pulling... They're just going in. They know no one pulled up mid. So everyone is in front of B. Which now will make them over-rotate.
Could do with a bit of that now.
Interesting.
So on the back of the Aldrone and the Seekers here, you can see.
Yeah, but Starks didn't put any smokes on B, and this is why they lose CNET.
Picked off there, but Redguard and Shados have pushed up so deep towards A.
That's pretty awkward.
Are they going to check this? They have to check this.
Starzo knows exactly where they are. He's pinged them on the minimap.
But I still want Bone Cold Zeke. If they even start trying to play towards mid,
They didn't do noise.
Picked off there, but Redguard and Shados have pushed up so deep towards A. You can see him pinged out on the minimap.
Are they going to check this?
Yeah, he pings just because he knows that they might have pushed, but they don't know if they pushed. But it's...
still on Bone Cold Zeke. If they even start trying to play towards middle,
it's good awareness.
Trying to address this even with just a swing. This is not what I want.
And it didn't check?
Zeke, if they even start trying to play towards middle, really trying to address this even with just...
Yeah, Zeke just goes in without checking. That's awkward. Starks gave them the info that he was being pushed by A, and they can be top mid because of his positioning. This is pretty awkward. Some miscommunication here.
That's a disaster in the making. And now he makes the push up as well, finding Starzo. Shados has just dismembered this hit. Oh, Redgar as well. That's the Gambit.
Thanks for it. Just activated Yon chain in my office. My pleasure. I'm actually a pro player. I'm an ex-pro player, but I was never a pro player in Valorant, my friend.
Especially on some of these fast hits.
Can you still get the VCT buddy right now? No, you can't. It was only available during the watching the final yesterday.
Like that was
straight away. And you talk about contingencies, especially when you're playing very.
It's kind of awkward because I feel like Ascend, if they would just listen to Starkso a little bit more clearly, they would have. They had a very high chance of winning this round. Specifically also because they used the dagger on short, so they knew no one is short, and Zeke was still kind of holding short and bottom mid, right? After they got the information that people can be on top mid.
Swing back into bail Redgar out if this hit comes through.
Bonkold has ultimate. Cena has ultimate. Arrow goes on top of tree, which allows the players from short to push. Killjoy is controlling the mid and the B push right now.
Look at these rotations. Yeah, the rotations are kind
Okay, I don't understand the dagger as well. It's a little bit of overcommitment because they already had the arrow there.
with that deep play coming out from Defo. They feel
Did I just see Bonkold destroy the trap? Bonkold destroys the trap with the ultimate. Look,
kind of
I think it's an accident, but it's a happy accident. Because he's just ulting generator, but because of that, he destroys the one trap that goes out of doors, which helps directly the teammates going from short. That is a huge thing.
They feel pretty solid about this, and Nats wants
And Redgar just gets a random kill.
to get in towards it. Redgar already gonna spray through. Good for one. Finds kill.
Nats just peeks away and just gets bodied. What the fuck? But he had the ultimate, by the way. He could have used it,
Pretty
right?
solid about this, and
He used the cage. He could have used the ultimate right here.
to get in towards it. Redgar already gonna spray through. Good for one.
I'm not sure about this peak. They have an advantage. They have an advantage, and no one is on site yet. I don't like this. I really don't like this peak by Nats. Overcommitment, in my opinion. They could have just gone and help Redgar on site. I really don't like this.
And Zeke and Starzo find 2 kills in quick succession, putting such favor by their side if they can get this spike down. Defo.
He's thinking about it.
He's really considering this. It's time to go. Gave it a damn good attempt, but careful now. Cena was ready to get involved as well. Not to be. They back away and look for the next option, which actually isn't a bad shout, but the door gets shut in their face.
Defo.
Nats already did this in pistol round, so they were aware of him. I mean, typically, you just are aware of that. He did it on purpose. Sorry, he did it successfully. Nats did it successfully on pistol round because Ascend had 2 lurkers in that round. So they didn't have that one crucial player that was still standing in short and controlling the back. Because they had to push 3 people on site. That was the reason why Nats even wins that pistol round. By peeking that. And here, they play it differently, so they have the control like they should have in the pistol round. So it's not about like that Nats was able to do that in the pistol round because it's a smart move. He was just wasn't punished because Ascent wasn't controlling the back. So, and also to ult, you don't have to get line of sight to the body.
To swap off that operator.
You just if you have anything in range, you just throw it. You don't have to see anything.
Easier on the way back in. And nothing to work off though. 2 smokes for Defo, but you see Ascent set up to greet them here.
He buys himself, like this is why I'm always talking about, like if you don't know what I'm talking about right now, type in !! smokes, watch the guide.
2 smokes.
This is why leaking smokes on site are good for a specific reason. Like you can just go in and check that one specific corner. So if your defender does a leaking smoke on site, you are getting fucked by the attackers.
Clears the right corner with the spray through the smoke, but it's 2 sitting at very favorable
Hello,
angles on the
Rudrak.
left side. That's going to make it very tricky. Can't get it done, and now Chronicle caught by Zeke in another big impact round.
They had advantage.
3 still stand.
And that's kind of fruit.
Pick up where they left off, 7-2 now.
Actually, credit where credit's due. Gambit read that perfectly after not feeling any pressure on the side of V-Main. I'm not sure if actually...
I'm gonna stay here for long because of this educational content. Thank you, Goldfang. You can type in ! VOD reviews to see the other archived VOD reviews that I did in the past.
Try and reduce the numbers on the side of Ascent. But like I said, Gambit read this perfectly. They're set up in the right place, but unfortunately just a couple of engagements not going their way. And we're back in a scenario now after that 1 round win. It's almost...
Was Zeke previously on G2? Yes.
Credits behind this purchase for Gambit.
A little bit awkward. Didn't clear exactly. What do we have here?
Absolutely love your VOD reviews. I'm learning so much. Thanks. Undercover Mason. Thank you very much for the Sabarinho, my bro. Wait, is this your first sub ever? Because
I can't remember your nickname, my friend. That means that you're probably subbing first time yourself, but it's your second month because you got gifted before. I'm asking because we have a tradition. Whenever someone new is subbing to the channel, I'm asking them about, you know, a short introduction. If you could do that, that would be amazing, man. It's a big deal for me when someone new subs to the channel.
Yes. Doesn't sit well, does it?
No, it doesn't.
No. And now Zeke's got ult as well. CNED has his if he fancies it. On the other side, no masses of intent to read into early. Still going to try and find some of that information. You can see the dog being invested over towards that B site. Going to push up. Don't know if it caught a glimpse. It might have done on Bone Cold if it did just turn in time, but I don't see anyone rotating to support that.
So the big indicator there is if you see Redgar or Nats, where again they're trying to counter Zeke's ultimate here with how deep Nats is playing. He wants his trap wires and his spy cam available for this execute.
Okay, Defo.
Okay. Again, we have the same setup. Nats and Astra, so Nats and Redgar are playing in the spawn to avoid Zeke ultimate.
Shados now going to be suppressed and have to just have the gun in the hand. And that okay, Defo, Shados now.
He uses the flash inside of the cage.
Gonna be suppressed
And then he doesn't use it outside of the cage. Am I stupid? Am I missing something here? If you go for one, you go for the second one as well, right?
To just have the gun in the hand.
It's a little bit awkward. Jesus Christ, Shados.
Lightning finding three and sending Ascend right on back. Defo wants to take
Cage went
that
up as he
space.
flashed.
Have the gun in the hand.
Let me check.
Okay, Defo, Shados now gonna.
Kinda yes, kinda no, but he still has one more flash. He could abuse, like, literally, the reason why KO flashes are so good, and the same goes for Sky flashes, is because you can abuse the shit out of this. Like, this cage is leaking on site. It's so hard for this player, for Shados, to hold the crosser placement. Look, he should be holding this, but he also has to hold this. He has to hold this, this, this. All of those angles here on the head level are angles that are potentially an opponent pushing through, right? If this cage or smokes in general would finish the effectiveness with this entrance, right? Then you only need to hold this angle here. So this is easily abusable. This is why I was explaining on the previous smoke in the previous round, right? So the reason why you want to play Sky or KO is because you want to abuse stuff like that. You can flash yourself out with those insanely powerful flashes. And it's I feel like maybe nervousness or just, I don't know, lack of quick decision making because of that is just making Zeke to peek again without using the secondary flash, because he knows that he whiffs the first one, right?
And that's going to be the good pick on the first. The follow-up, Shados! Quick as lightning, finding three and sending Ascend right on back. Defo wants to take that space. And this
Will Chamber be meta breaking like Dev said when allowed in pro play? I do think so. But I also was called that moron for calling KO to be insanely powerful when once released. It was just teams not using him correctly, you know? And their teams are still not using him perfectly, but it's way better than it was before. But you can see that KO is actually very impactful, right, in pro play.
Bone Cold and CNED. I wouldn't want to go through there again. It's just a grinder.
But people called me a fucking moron for saying that KO is insanely powerful.
Oh, there's no way in. There is no way in.
Did you see the new Easter egg for the new agent? Yeah, I saw it on Twitter.
Plenty of utility.
So it's a female agent that is gonna be very fast. So I have a worry that the new agent is gonna be like a competition for Jett. Might be very similar to some extent. And because of that, we're gonna see both Jett and her being played every single time. But we'll see.
Just let them know, yeah, they're still around. Don't overpeak it, boys.
10 seconds left.
Got to give this one up.
There it is, walk on in. Only gonna get one. And 3 seconds left. CNED still gets Redgar. But it's gonna be 3 on the board.
Lore-wise, the new agent is Nemesis of Jett as well? Okay. Interesting. Well, if she has a smoke and she has a dash, then both of those will be played every single time.
But Shados stops them at the front door. Massive from him. Again, the first kill is Zeke out.
A third.
The thing is with KO is that he's jack of many trades, master of none, with slight specialization in suppression? No. What do you mean? He has the best flashes in the game. What do you mean he's not master of none? He's a great initiator with fantastic flashes and has a molly.
Dreamy work.
This is interesting though. Zeke's investing into an operator here.
Sky flashes are just as good? No. They are different. But when it comes to raw power, KO's flashes are way better than Sky flashes. Sky flashes are that do a lot of noise. They have the ability to recon for the info, right? But KO flashes are silent and way faster on the actual timing, so you can absolutely abuse flashes more through smokes and walls with the right click from KO than with Sky. After the nerf, of course. Remember, right? After the nerf.
That will be cycled across.
And yes, Sky flashes can be destroyed. Sometimes by accident, but that sometimes happens. And is very important. And remember, the KO flash doesn't make any noise till its last activation when it actually explodes.
Peek here towards top mid.
Zeke playing the operator and not seen it. Very good. You guys remember, right? There's no Jett playing operator on Ascent. She needs to dash on the side.
Of it, though.
I don't think Gambit have really been challenging through middle like this. This hasn't been one of those like, oh, Defo's making a lot of impact here. It's been...
They're losing these rounds on the rotate. They don't need to fight for mid.
Euro ult is amazing with combination with KO ults together.
Rotate, you can already see the lean back towards that A site. I don't know what the turns
There's no
are,
big
but it looks
synergy
like
there,
they're
like other than with other characters. But I cannot wait to play some Yoru once he gets reworked, man. We're gonna spam Yoru on this channel, my friends. We already spammed a lot of Yoru, but we're gonna spam even more.
Just off the back, do they decide to go back towards that B piece? Now the 4 players in middle.
Redguard is a random kill on Stark, so controlling A. Okay. I mean, not random, but he just gets double peeked.
That's the kind of split working towards A, and this again keeps telling these concepts of this. Oh,
he was healing. What the fuck, Shadows, are you doing? What the fuck, Shadows?
Already gonna deny it. That was the kind of.
And that is not really that badly needed. Def was at 70. Def was at 80. What the fuck? Why would you risk that shit? Why would you risk this? Holy shit.
Concepts of this. Oh,
this is really not good. Good counter flash by Shadows, though. Good counter flash by Shadows.
What is he trying to do with this? He's getting now out of it.
Actually, you can see.
Defender's ultimate, that is mostly for B. The outcome on B main, sorry, it's on A. This Astra's divide is for A main. It's not perfectly done for A main. It's good for A short. It's good for mid, but it's not good for A main. It has like a gap.
Stacked up here, the trap wire will confirm CNED's entry towards B side.
But it's so geared for a retake, and Zeke looks
They don't even need to retake.
flat. Yeah, Chronicle's doing just fine already. The doors are
Okay.
Send top mid product of that.
Yeah, that was the catalyst to all of this.
Losing Starkso is a big thing. If Starkso dies, they lose so much execution power because a good Astra goes 2 smokes and 2 utility pieces that check corners or stun corners, right? It's like losing Starkso is not the same outcome as losing an example Omen or losing an example Brimstone. It's way bigger. Losing Starkso, he's the key piece of any execute alongside Jett, right? And losing Starkso as a first hinders your chances at actual execute. So when you have, like, let's say you still have Starkso in a 4v5 and someone else dies, let's say Killis, doesn't really bother you, like, it doesn't really bother you that much. You can still do a full execute because Killis was most likely just a lurker holding flanks. So you just commit and you don't care about the flanks. You just have to be aware of it, but you just you just ignore them for some time when you're doing the actual execute, right? You can ignore them in post-plant, but you do ignore them during the execute. But if you lose Starkso, suddenly your plan from doing a possible full execute, even though you don't have one player, is completely negated. So you have to swap up your plan. When you lose Starkso as an Astra, your plan to winning the round suddenly swaps from doing an execute to go for full duels. Because you need to do an equalizer or even an advantage before you do an actual push.
And now there is more than just a window of opportunity. The door's been opened. This could be 5-7. We have to look at what's coming back in for this, though, for Ascend. They are down, at least on...
Now we have 5 players going towards A. There's no ultimate here. This is the last round. Keyless maybe could get the orb and then plant the spike, but it's Boncold who's holding the spike. So there's maybe a little bit of min-maxing, unless the plan is to just cascade on site with 5 players at the same time, apart probably from Boncold. But if Keyless would have, like, you know, take the orb, take the spike, and then ult on A side, the opponents have no answer to it. Sebio!
Sebio, thank you much for the 4 months, and welcome back, my friend. Thank you much for the ongoing support, broski.
I didn't watch match yesterday, so I could watch it today with you. Much love. These VOD reviews are such great content for free and helps me with the game so much. Thank you. My pleasure, Batchest. Speaking of Omen, do you have any changes in your mind that can improve Omen? Nah. I don't want to talk about that because it's too much time wasted during the VOD review.
Purchase not perfect. Let's see.
I don't like the spacing. They play anti-flash. They play anti-flash, but it's just so awkward. The spacing on attack will be so fucking awkward.
Again, look, Defo controlling all of B main. Already the rotation comes through from Gambit.
So Redgar is now demoralized with the dagger, but he already used the smoke. So now they have to smoke everything. Okay, let's pay attention to how they're gonna do this execute. They need to smoke out, flash out through the smoke on main. They need to smoke this, smoke this. This is probably a stun, and then probably a pull on this spot here, on top of hell, like top of rafters here, because this affects the player on triple, affects the players underneath, and this player here behind the smoke, behind the chest. So it gives you a lot of info. But let's see what they're gonna do. Okay, so it's gonna be pull backside instead of here. So when it comes to min-maxing, I can definitely tell you that pulling from here makes more sense. Okay? Look. Ascent. Right. Clear. All. Oh, wait. Okay, so Astra gravity well. Because the thing is, if you put the wait, is the scale correct? Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe it doesn't affect the entire thing and scratch what I just said. Wait. Okay, we'll have to check that in game. But the thing is, what I wanted to achieve, but I might be wrong actually, okay? Because the thing is, when you put a utility like gravity well not on the same level, it's harder to counter the movement. So if you put the star here and you do the gravity well, it affects the player here with bigger force because you have to counter the movement in exactly the same angle where the star is coming from, right? So you need to look in this direction, into the floor, to counter this star. And if you don't, then you're being pulled. And the thing is, when this is pulling as well, it affects the person here and here. This person needs to like counter into this wall to like be certain that he's not going to get pulled. And it's a very big surprise because you don't expect to be pulled from that position. Well, we'd have to check in a custom map if it affects fully, like backside here. But if it's not, then it's okay. But if there's a possibility of that, then it will be great. But anyway, so dash on site, smoke here, right? And not a second smoke. Let's see. So Redgar is
still have to deal with the pressure.
Is affected by this by this pole, but he still gets one kill because he plays anti-flash. Zeke is throwing the right click,
Strong.
but Redcar has perfect timing to not get flashed. And there's the cage being used as well to get the
Still
info.
have to deal with the pressure that's coming their way. Right.
Then a flash from Shadows gets the second tempo.
Oh my word, Redcar!
Yeah, dude, that's a very good hold.
Deals with such pressure so
Very good
well.
hold.
And Starzo knows he is now just absolutely surrounded. The spike's in enemy control. He cannot get across that.
As Astra, is it better to play anchor on defense or to hold mid so you're close to the action but not necessarily into it? You can play whatever you want as an Astra. You don't have to play anywhere. Like, you are the one of the agents that has the ability to play anywhere on the map and still be impactful. Of course, if you want to be impactful for your own utility, then you have to play on site, right? If you hold like side like this. But yeah, Astra is one of those bigger freedom characters in the game. Kind of like Viper as well.
To get to the pick towards main
Okay, let's...
game.
Look, but still, 5-7 on defense for Gambit is a terrible, terrible score. Really terrible. Ascent is very defense-based, and it's very monotonous when it comes to the way you attack on this map. And we know that Ascent on Gambit looks horrible. This is why they swapped from Defo to Defo Jett this time around, because they played 5 non-duelists the last time, and it was absolutely abysmal. So their attack side on every map is very lackluster. So coming into a map where they rely so much on defense. I forgot about checking the stats. Let me check this. Look at this. Wait, split breeze, bind icebooks. Vikings. This is not fully updated. Oh, this is not all maps. Oh, because playoffs is as a separate event. Fuck. Wait, I'll do this again. One moment. Shit. We have to do this report again. Gambit. Does this split already? Right. Oh, it doesn't show. Never mind. Matches. This is 5, 8, 11, 14, 17, 17. Okay. 17. Let's do it this way then. Scouting report, 17, match count. Remind me in a second, in like 2 minutes about this, okay? To check this. But wait, events? No, this is game changers. Completed events. Fuck. Where's champions? Okay. Playoffs is... Event is 1012. Okay. Could have also done this. But I can actually check the pistol rounds. Wait. Hello? Here we go. So Ghost was the most picked pistol round in the entirety of the champions with 47%. Classic was with 45% almost. Sheriff at 4%, Frenzy at 3%, Shorty was used once. In the entirety of champions, only one person bought Shorty in a pistol round. And that was 2 Shorties by Someone bought 2 shorties and 1 pistol round for himself. That can be correct. Someone else bought shorties as well. This can be correct. I'm missing something here. Anyway.
They do, in terms of confidence.
Vanity on binds and lamps? Yeah, I think so, right?
Best of 5 series. This is huge for them.
But the thing about playing at Omen at the pro level, typically Astra is just strictly better, unless you have a very specific strats with the paranoia.
Yes.
So hard to get around. It starts with this. The pistol in the second half can set you up and tee you up to get to those double digits for a second.
Oh my god, Chronicle gets fucked by Defo's bad smoke. Oh my god, that just feels bad.
The man to step in towards that pick towards me.
That just feels bad.
Tying up the spike though, it's working up short.
That is a disaster. And he had still the drone, right? And he still had the drone. Oh, that is terrible, man.
Incredible them and Zeke. The man to step in towards that pick towards main. Tying up the spike though, it's working up short.
Gambit drifting towards this 3-player stack. Actually, the Trailblazer are going to plant the seed of doubt towards mid. Actually, Zeke and Starzo will swing through. Nats and Red.
Yeah, that just falls apart, man. That just falls apart.
And Zeke need to suckle their utility and make the most of it.
He has to get out of there because they're trying to hunt him down right now. Tries to slip towards CT, but takes a little bit of the space back. The pace change from Gambit is so apparent, but already it's fine. Ascend happy.
Nice flash from Zeke from B main.
Really like that. It's another Prime Gaming flawless coming out.
G2, but a true diamond in the rough for this roster.
See if we can make it shine
They
this
played
round.
anti-flash, by the way.
Right time. And CNED starting to get a little aggressive.
And Chronicle's already 24 HP. Why is Chronicle going top mid as a Sova? I'm not sure I understand this like positioning here.
Actually, on the flip side, Defo, some of you look.
Did he use arrow on mid? He did use arrow on mid. Okay, now I understand it. Wait, but he did use it before the peak.
See if we can make it shine this round, right?
Yeah, he did use it. Okay, fine.
Actually, on the flip side, Defo, some of you look towards on Gambit's attack to come online. See that there, 3 and 9. A shaky performance so far on Ascent. A bit creep closer and closer. Actually, a little bit of a rotation come out from Ascent. Now CNED second.
But it's already like 40 seconds in. And pay attention to the utility. Nothing changed on B. You guys remember how I was reviewing Gambit's attack sides on almost every single map so far? On every single map, it's the same issues. They drag out the game. The opponents are not biting on attack side, right? The opponents are not biting, and Gambit fails to drain any kind of actually impactful utility.
Yes,
and even if they go into onto one side which doesn't have the sentinel, like Killjoy Cypher, they don't go into that side. They draw a little bit of utility from the side where the sentinel is not playing, and then they fall back to the other side which has the sentinel, but they didn't use anything to clear the utility before, so they go into a fully prepared side with like 20-30 seconds left. This happened over and over and over again, and this is one of the main reasons why they're losing those attack rounds.
He's going to slip through towards tree, back up. There's Starzo, who's over towards this side, and of course Zeke. And actually seeing that, he's going to keep him posted here. CNED is still CNED, and he might want to do CNED things. He might just walk that, because Starzo's looking like he's thinking about it too.
Bad timing for Starzo. Look, Redgar's already going through.
And the timing.
Redgar's already going through this leaking smoke on site. This is attacker smoke, right? This is attacker smoke, right?
Zeke. And actually seeing that,
no, this is actually defender's side. This is actually defender's smoke. So Starkso did this because the other smoke was running out of time, and he just didn't want to use it.
Posted here.
Didn't want to
CNED
use it
is
as
still
a
CNED, and he might want to do CNED,
like
he
a
might just walk that.
draw,
Stars
like a
looking
pull
like
or something. But this is now being like used by
thinking about it too
Redgar.
in
So
the
Redgar
timing.
uses the smoke to go on site. Defo goes onto site by not checking the
Just
right.
missed it. But wait, they don't.
Why would the attacker smoke A main before entering? Because this is a smoke that benefits the attackers.
He might just walk that because Stars are
This is literally a smoke that benefits the attackers,
looking like
and also Defo makes a crucial mistake of not checking right corner.
too in the time.
But we can't see it because Defo is already like doing the dash, but he literally didn't check the right corner. Like, this is not being checked by Defo. Or he checked left, which is not his job. He dashes onto this side to check this side. He dashes on this side to check this side.
Timing. He just.
Like, this is a crucial mistake. Absolutely
Oh, no,
crucial
Stars
mistake,
open.
man. By Defo.
No idea! He gets 2 out of nowhere. This is meant to be the bonus round. It's a 3v3. Redgar, Nazi
Beautiful
Chronicle,
smoke
loving
by
this.
CNED. Oh my god, dude. This is the same. You guys remember I was explaining Vanity's smoke on retakes? It's the same position, but the smoke from Vanity, from Astra, from Omen are big enough to also let you see that guy. They're beautiful, man.
Madman drop gets down in their faces, and now just Nats presented the undesirable scenario. They
Yeah.
face together,
And this
they
is
win
lost
together.
just because of
Ascend gonna
Defo's
push
inability
up
to
to
check the
double
corner
digits.
while dashing.
Lay the foundations to close.
You know, I'm a perfectionist, but playing Jett, you need to be fucking absolute godlike on a pro level with those dashes, because you're the crucial tool when it comes to checking checking corners. This is why CNED, this is why Derke are so good at Jett on attack, because they do that shit every single time. I can remember a single time when I saw CNED not check a corner.
Close this half out a little more comfortably. And CNED's willingness.
Do you make a noise when you put stars down? Yes, you do.
That smoke just coming out of heaven to try and confirm that plant underneath. Again, it's weird. It's in total control of the second half. Now Ascend. In total control of the second half.
And see, Redgar is allowed to, look, he abuses the smoke from the A main. He actually gets kills because of that.
In total control of the second. We're looking.
It's not over till it's over though with Gambit.
No, exactly.
Until that final round, that final kill ticks over.
The stars are making noise from the star itself, not from Astra.
Yeah, Gambit. Throw a little into this round. Sure what's behind it, but they want to do some damage, maybe keep the economy in check on the side of Ascend. Will be noted now. Lots of contact around the map. Gambit look poised. Actually, again, leaning towards a 3-player stack on the side of Ascend.
It's the B main control that's making me so nervous. So
Yeah.
if they try and pinch through towards B, the crossfire could already be in place, and Zeke's just control that's making me so nervous.
And Nats is a little bit in an
Again,
awkward
leaning towards
spot.
a 3-player
He
stack on
follows the
side of-
drone, but he's the lurker. Look, he's the lurker of the team, right? But the team on mid doesn't do any pressure yet. So essentially, but this should be the execute. This portion of the team, this is execute, right? This is execute. This is lurker. And the lurker should never have first contact before the execute does pressure. And the pressure from execute is not being done before Nats peaks. So he dies because everyone is still looking at those angles, and if the lurker goes into crosser placement by default, then he essentially is on a disadvantage.
Ascend.
It's the B main control that's making
Look, those players are playing contact, see? They are playing slow. They're not making any pressure. They are playing contact. That means that the lurker from short, he goes straight into the crosshair placement of the default players. And he's fucked.
So nervous though. If they try and pinch through towards B, the crossfire could already be in place. And
If he would have waited, if he waits for this part of the team to actually make pressure, right? They trigger a rotation. By doing pressure mid, players from A need to do something. And this is where you strike from short. Because you hear the rotations or you have good timing.
Zeke's just already cut off Nats.
And now they are... Oh, what the fuck? How is he alive? That goes through the wall. What? How? Ah, here. Look. Oh my god, dude. That was so lucky. Holy shit. So imagine that this pressure... Like, imagine now the situation is... The pressure comes in. They kill this player. And now you have Nats and Redgar on short. I mean, it should have been only Nats, because this player should have been, like... Redgar should be going mid. Right? Redgar should be going mid. He shouldn't be on short, but they need someone on short because Nats died. And if Nats wouldn't have died, that means that Nats is still standing here, controlling this area. Right? He's not going in. He's just holding it while those people do pressure. And when they do this pressure, players from A, they need to start rotating or they need to start playing like really weird angles. So the player from short waits. They go split here. And when they do this pressure, that's where the lurk actually goes in. But because Nats died before that even happened, the entire plan fails.
So they're actually trying to slip through spawn.
At least it should. I don't know the outcome of the round, but it's very tough now for Gambit.
Tries to stop it before it starts. Zened gets one in the back. How did he even get that? And now 3, and Zeke's all...
See? Redgar now does the function of Nats. So not Redgar. Who's playing? Chronicle. Sorry. Chronicle is playing the role of Nats.
He can't quite convert on the second. Redgar still stands. Starzo though, there's the aiming control becoming a problem. It's Chronicle. He was a highlight on map 1.
I have the spike.
Has the undesirable...
For some reason I thought it's Redgar's playing on the Sova. I don't know why I'm saying.
Taps the spike. No one gonna take that initial bait.
30 seconds left.
Chronicle looking for his first potential victim. Spike plant comes in, the spray comes out, and seen it from above. It's 11 on the board for Ascend. And this is the lifeline they need to bound.
So yeah, Gambit really lacks severely on attack. Like, they have fantastic defense, but if the defense fails, then the chances of winning the matches are dramatically lower for Gambit, because their win condition is literally... Why is this not being reported yet? Their win condition is literally defense. Let's do it again.
Yeah, quick scan of the utility. It's not looking terrible, but...
But talk about...
Now, I know who won. Don't worry about it.
Just had a almost fatal map 1. That could have sent you spiraling. And they found a little bit more in the tank. And now we wait to see if they can close.
I really like the fake smokes because they allow it to get a little bit of more control, but...
Gets one and backs away. Looks for the follow-up. He's feeling...
What can you say about this? Gambit is just playing default. And the defense just not biting. So they just go one by one. Like, this is why Gambit's attack is just useless when the opposing team has good discipline.
We know the Defo's on the other side. And he holds his nerve.
Do you think teams knowing Nats lurking is advantage for them or disadvantage for Gambit? Because FNS from Envy said they keep a designated player for his lurks. It doesn't matter. Every team should have a lurker. So it doesn't matter if it's Nats or someone else. Because the universal rule of how you should lurk is the same for everyone. And every team will have a lurker. Every team. Right? Maybe not in every single round. But every team has a lurker. And it's just... Sometimes those lurks are not effective. But I just did draw you an example of when a lurk is ineffective. Because it lacks understanding of the tempo of the round and when a pressure is being created to allow the lurk to be effective. And Gambit's playstyle on attack is just countered by being passive. I vividly remember doing analysis on the VCT on Gambit's, like, guys, remind me, who was that? Someone was playing against Gambit. SMB. SMB was playing against Gambit. The first map was Ascent. And SMB dismantled Gambit. And I was praising them for playing correctly against Gambit playstyle. Because on defense, SMB was not moving. Like, not moving at all. Which made Gambit not get any advantage, not drain any utility. Something that I already explained today, right? And SMB just won because of that. But then, in the next two maps, they failed to do that. And they were just playing aggressively on defense. So Gambit just dismantled them because they went straight into the defaults of Gambit. So it's like SMB by an accident countered the way that Gambit should be countered, and they didn't understand what they did.
Confirm something, but
Chronicle Wine, was he playing there? Because they're playing default. But they lost now a player, so they're fucked.
For Gambit
Zeke,
to identify.
he's still got a flash. He's still got what he needs, and he's been holding this for a while. And they line up.
I mean, when you play a default and you lose one player, then you need to commit to even more plays like this. So from one risky play, you need to go for another risky play, and that's not going to work.
So perfectly takes down Nats with ease. CNED still controlling towards middle. The underhand flash in the swing. It's everything you wanted, but with Bone Cold going down, mid's now a little open, and CNED has to be ready for what's coming his way. He reads it well, he repositions well, but he has to fall back from the angle.
He's also managed to get out, but we'll confirm now Shados's presence in B main.
10 seconds left.
But time.
There's nothing left for them to do here, Lauren.
They have no time
GG.
to playing with here. There's no more
GG
picks
Gambit.
This is going to be 12 on the board. I don't think Gambit can do anything to deny it. And Ascend.
No plan whatsoever.
Look at the setup here.
If the opponent is playing very disciplined and rushing A side doesn't work, how do you play then? I mean, that's the problem of the team not having good executes. That means that your team is just not good at attacking, and that means you need to work on that because you're just not going to be effective and efficient on the attack side if you don't have good executes. This is why I was always painting the image of utility-based executions being the most important aspect of any team.
Yeah, they are so prepared for this, and away we go. CNED goes in, anti-flash.
Oh, wait, what?
Look at the setup here.
Yeah, they are so prepared for this, and away. Well, Ascend.
Look at the setup here.
Yeah, they are so.
Gambit reads into this by seeing the 2 stars being put by defense on here. They play anti-flash. That is so smart. That is a good attempt by Ascent, but it's easily readable because of this and this. So they play anti-flash and they wreck CNED because of that.
Prepared for this, and away we go. CNED goes in, anti-flash. Oh, that could have been the icing on the cake. It's not.
So I wonder if doing the same strategy but without the stars would have been better. Right? Probably would have been better because they wouldn't have sold the information of what they're doing. Interesting.
Not to be Nats, the destroyer of dreams, happy on the other side. And Vestio as well. Zeke has to respect.
Even for this grand final, I have to say I'm a bit disappointed. I wish to see some really well thought out plays and well orchestrated executions, but I don't think we're there yet. Yeah, but the game is new. Like, I wanted that as well, but unfortunately that's not the thing. The only team that had good level of executions and instant post plant was Fnatic, but we know how that ended up. But I think that was the best prepared team when it comes to Fury, and I was really disappointed in Vision Strikers because they were that team that was the best at it in the previous Masters, but here coming to this event, I don't know, they regressed.
Expect this now.
But yeah, you know, you need to have both of the combinations, right? You need to have insanely talented players and good executions, and if you have both, then you have a championship level team, right? And And Crew, an example, has the first part. On a fundamental level, I think Crew are really fucking fantastic, but they lack the complicated executions like Fnatic does, or like the well-orchestrated small microplays that Fnatic does. But if Crew will get to that level that an example Fnatic is, when it comes to theory and those small microplays, then Crew is gonna be the best team on the planet right now. Do you think Fnatic needed to be in the finals? Losing versus Crew was just unlucky? Smooth. I did a VOD review of Fnatic versus Crew. You can rewatch it. And Crew is just a better team on the fundamental level. Crew just played well on micro decision making and by making good calls instantly and following it up. They didn't leave room to make like an awkward push with no trades and so on. This is why they were winning so many rounds. Look at post plant. Crew is fantastic at making a split-second decision-making post plant. They get a plant, disadvantage, we push. Advantage, we don't push. We play passive. And they do this like this. And you can see like Fnatic on Haven got dismantled because of that decision-making that Crew was doing like so fast on those situations, like on those post plant situations. So it wasn't unlucky. It was literally the opposite of unlucky. Like Fnatic lost crucial rounds because of bad decision making or someone not trading.
Trying to pick up the pace a little bit here.
Oh, no way! Nats goes down to Zeke. I thought he had him dead to rights. It wasn't to be. This is scrappy, and that's not where Gambit thrive. It's where Ascend come online. They find so much momentum in the brutality of it all. Shados, Redgar, and Defo. Killers, be careful now. There's two players. He's going to make mincemeat of one, but it's a good trade out. It's enough to secure the site for the spike.
What about Liquid Loss against Ascent? I didn't do a review about that.
Opportunity here for them to set up. They're not going to play this aggressively. Shadows might even have an opportunity to drift back into B main. That could be huge for Gambit in this post plant.
So the actual player who plays as King is always the same player, or will a different player play under the name of King? What? Am I missing something? Is that a meme I'm missing here?
Flashback up in a couple of seconds as well. Shados can run this now. A pivotal position, and Redgar wants to try and play off the back of it as well. That's the first challenge. He wins. Shados! That is everything he needed, but Redgar is right there in support. I don't...
Bring up the Cox, more the other
Shados just destroyed two of... It's not been the biggest part of this, and Bone Cold just destroyed two of them. Look at the HP on Nats and Shados. No!
They've already pushed in pretty fast. 4 versus 4. Oh.
Through, refusing to go down in moments like these.
Defense Astro Divide. It's actually very interesting. So this is actually very interesting because you could say that this Astro Divide is actually favoring the attackers, but it can be also abused by the defenders. It's like a double-edged sword right now because it allows the players to just go from entrance to lane and then drop down site, and if they have flashes, they can abuse this wall for flashes to just go in, but then the players from backside can just hold it and play anti-flash. So it's like, it's really a double-edged sword. I don't know what to think about this.
He tries to power forward. Old still out, looking to maybe catch off ZK, get aggressive towards CT.
Nice. Kill. Balanced champion.
Name of the game for Defo. Leaves the two on the site. Ignores them almost. Chronicle now confirms there's still two here. Do we re-engage? Yes, we do, and Defo is the one at the helm.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't like this ult from Starkso here, but maybe the problem was that they lost the space already.
Because where did that hit just come from?
Defo showing signs of life here.
Sorry for the scene, my bad. Well, no, nothing interesting.
On the way back in. Big factor will be Gambit need to maintain this economy. They need to hold on to this.
I don't know. It's kind of awkward. Like,
Spot him.
With the
There was a moment there. Defo
out this game again.
all right, let's focus on this round. Nats lurking, 2 top mid, 2 A side. Spike is left for spawn, and judging by having this pre-set up by Nats, my guess is that they're gonna do some pressure on A, and then because of this trap controlling this side, they're gonna go back to B while picking up the spike. That will be my guess. That this is the play they want to do.
Waiting with
And
Nats didn't use a second trap.
breath to see if Ascend
Oh, he used it right now. Okay.
can close out this game, or Gambit are just simply the immovable objects. Starzo does need to respect this.
Chronicle really likes to go to the other side of A main.
Wait, allow Cena to maybe pick up that mantle.
He goes into wine again. He's just getting seated here.
Well, it's interesting to see a couple of light armors.
So this is essentially another default. Slow default.
Side of Ascend, whether or not that's trying to
Oh, I
maintain the
hate
economy
this.
or trying to make
They just essentially what they did by using the Tiger in A main is to have Chronicle here. But if the defense doesn't cross this line, this player is useless anyway.
make sure they can continue purchasing operators for CNED. Gambit again look to explore mid.
So here, by having the smoke and flashing here, they don't have to check left, right, so they can just go in forward, right? That's the thing. 400k incoming by Lace. 301,000 bits. Lace, let me just ask you one thing. What kind of badge would that need to be? Jesus Christ, Lace, I don't even know what to do. Jesus. Lace is the MVP. Like she's literally the sponsor of the stream. Do I need to put your nickname in the partner rotator in the top left? I think there's a problem that Astra smokes look almost the same of their attacker defender. Yeah, they need to make bigger difference in the coloring of it. 100%. I'm always fucking confused. I need to be like paying attention. And I typically have to check on the minimap anyway. 301k bits doesn't appear for a reason. Is it gonna be a 401k? I don't even have an idea for a badge for 400k, Lace.
Anywhere just yet, so Gambit want to try and find an engagement, create an opening for themselves.
It's the same default that we have seen 2 rounds ago. Literally the same. Redgar and Defo pushing mid. Last time Redgar just died straight up to CNED, who peaked that position with the operator. Now they get a little bit of space with that smoke.
Both information tools ready and waiting.
But again, Redgar just dies. And you guys remember what I was talking about when Starkster dies first on attack, right? You guys remember that, right? And now Redgar dies again. Now the entirety of the round is just like, okay, we can't execute anymore. We have to go for stupid 50-50 angles. It's called an engagement ring. I hope you can have an open relationship.
Waiting.
Dude, I could have been Lay's father if I wished.
Boko will actually find Redgar there.
Was that through smoke? I feel
It's actually true.
like it was.
Yeah.
But Defo looking like he might be on track for a trade, and he is. That's Killer's now punished towards the top mid, which will cut off some of these rotations.
Nice.
That's actually a huge pick to garner.
Well, when Riot noticed me,
Patience.
I mean, we have the devs from time to time on our chat, man. Maybe we have some devs right now in the chat, but they're sitting quiet.
Now with the flash, it should.
So now Chronicle is doing that push with the drone from from the wine to get access to site. Man, good for them that Killers is dead, because this utility on short would have been this disaster. An absolute disaster. And look at Nats, he's still so far away with the spike. Oh my god, but this range is not good. This is only for short. This is only for short, right? Yikes. Yikes. I mean, it's only for short, but it just gets so much. Oh my god, Bonkel just craves so much carves. So much space for CNET just to peek and get a freest kill of his life. Holy shit.
CNET still stands as well. This could be the one. This could be the round to take him across the line. Nats, the last one alive here, and Ascend bound back.
Again, the conclusion is Gambit doesn't know how to attack, specifically also on Ascent, but all the maps follow the same kind of like pattern. The same pattern. Discipline from defenders. Gambit cannot punish mistakes on attack, so they fall into a rabbit hole when they didn't draw like enough utility out for the execute, so they attack into an execute that has still the utility, and they have no time and room for any errors.